And it's raining, of course. It rains a lot on this server. Hi, everybody, and welcome to what I hope will be the first of a few episodes. It should be a bit of a mini series. And what it's going to do is it's going to showcase my realm here. So, this was actually a realm that I shared with some good friends of mine, and we started this realm in November of 2020, and I think back then it was still Minecraft 1.16. And then while we were building our realm, Minecraft launched 1.17, which was the Caves and Cliffs update part 1. And so we were able to get copper, and we kind of did some stuff with copper and all, but we had explored so much of our realm by then that in order to get copper and to benefit from the 1.117 update, we had to go outside of any area that we'd already previously loaded, which wasn't a big deal. But today, what I would love to do is I would love to walk you through our realm. And so our realm was started with a small group of people. And a few of the people kind of subsequently dropped off, but it ended up being ultimately me, my good friend HB, from HB Gaming, and Drifted J Lo. And we ended up settling our own little areas of the world and building our own little kind of empires, I guess, if you will. Now, for those of you who don't know what a realm is essentially it's a world that you can rent off of Minecraft. And for $7.99 a month USD, you can have this realm. It's kind of like a multiplayer server. You can have this realm and you can invite up to 10 of your friends to join you. And there's also Microsoft offers what's akin to like a more of a mini realm, and that's you plus one, and I believe that's $2.99 a month USD. I can't remember if it's $1.99 or $2.99 USD, but you'll have to look that up. But basically, the difference between having a realm or playing on somebody else's world is when you're in a realm, you have the independence of logging onto the realm and doing your own thing, creating your own, going mining, creating your own world, independent of the other person. You're not dependent on that person to be there. When you join your friend server, your friend has to be there, right? Has to be logged on to that world in order for you to join. And it's always a little weird when you join a friend server. You know, they invite you to play and you want to play and you get along and you build your world. They build their world. But it always seems like sometimes, since they're the host, any type of resources that I find belongs to them. And then I would want to ask their permission if I could use those resources or wait for them to grant me those resources as a favor, right? So say, for example, if we go caving and we find some diamonds, to me, those diamonds belong to the person who owns that world, and I will give them to them. However, if that person decides to make armor and they give it back to me, or says, oh, no, keep it, that's cool, you know, and then I can use that diamond armor or iron armor or iron tools or whatever it is, right? The next time I log on to the world. But again, I think the biggest restriction is that you can't play on somebody's world unless that person is actually on the world. So if you really want to play on their world, you started a project, you're really jonesing to get back to it, and you got to sit there and camp out on Xbox and wait for your friend to log on. It can be frustrating. So the answer to that would be a realm, because I can be on the realm anytime, and my friends can be on the realm anytime, right? I mean, we do have some rules, some simple rules, and we'll go over those rules the next time we start up a realm. So what we're doing is I'm planning to retire this old realm. We played on it for a long time. It was a great realm. We did some wonderful things. We had a great time. We did some awesome builds. But because of the new 1.18 update, I think it's time for us to retire this realm and start a new one. So we agreed to do that. And but what I'd like to do is I'd like to archive this world. So we'll save this world just so we have a copy of it, because we did create a lot and share a lot and experience a lot on this world. And so we'll archive this world. But before I do that, I would love to... Oh, a thunderstorm. Ooh, that's exciting. I would love to walk you around. I'm going to take you guys on a tour, and it may take a few episodes because we did a lot, and we had some really incredible builds. But I'm going to go ahead and take you guys on a bit of a tour before we go ahead and retire this realm in favor of a new one. So with that said, let's get started. Actually, I'm going to sleep first. Get rid of this thunderstorm. Hold on. Up the stairs to the bedroom. Hey, kitties. Sleep. Okay, so starting with my house, this was not my starter base. My starter base did start here in this exact location, but it was like this little itty bitty little, you know, how you build your starter base. It's like a little itty bitty, you know, one room hut, whatever you want to call it. But eventually my final base, which is this, kind of grew up around my starter base. What I like to do sometimes is I'll start my starter base and then I'll actually build my final base around my starter base in the same location, and then eventually kind of just break down and incorporate, you know, just kind of dissolve my starter base inside my big base. But you see we have the candles, right? Because the candles were introduced later, and I can't remember when the candles were introduced, but that actually came after we actually started our realm. So just to give you a tour, we are on the second floor. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and run down to the first floor. So this is the entrance. This is the main entrance to my base, and I'll back up so you guys can get a good view of it. So that's the front side, and if we go ahead and walk in, and over here, turning to our left, we kind of have a little bit of a living room area with a nice cozy fireplace. I love my fireplaces, and if you watch my videos and you watch me build, you're going to actually see me build fireplaces a lot. I don't know why, but I just do, and I think it's because I live in Western Massachusetts, and I think that we bought the only house in Massachusetts that doesn't have a fireplace. Don't ask me why, but we did. And so I think to make up for it, I build lots and lots of fireplaces in Minecraft. So what you'll see over here off to the right then, okay, so in the center are the stairway leading up to the second floor. Off to the right here, this is the dining room. And I know it's off center, I get it, but whatever. I wasn't, you know, trying to be beautiful or perfect. Well, but whatever, it worked out. I mean, well, it didn't work out because I'm totally off center, but it does look kind of cool. You know, it's a little dining room. And then what you see here is I have all my storage. So it's just kind of like a little bit of a kitchen. Kind of like this is supposed to be like a stove and an oven, whatever. This is supposed to be my sink. And, you know, just I have an anvil here. But only for convenience. Crafting table here. So this was like the kitchen area, and then this was my my island. So here I'm chopping meat on my cutting board. I have a cake, and then this was actually my basil. So that's my herbs, and I have some herbs. That's actually rosemary growing in the window. So this is my little herb garden. But in these, I kind of tended to store the bone meal, the gold, anything that I collected that wasn't going to amount to a full chest. So this is going to be like small amounts of stuff, meat. My food was here, just various garden supplies. All my golden carrots are here. I probably should pick up some golden carrots. I don't. Oh, I've got beef, so I think I'm going to be fine. The copper coal, I think, is here. Just some various remnants from the updates, the Caves and Cliffs updates, and just things like that. So minor supplies. And then, of course, here I just kind of have my complimentary ender chest here that's going to have a double ender chest because I tend to lose my ender chests, so I always have one, you know, on the ready just in case. But so I kind of colored I have all of my shulker boxes. I have backup gear just in case, a backup bed always for traveling, and just some different things. Like I tried to color everything according to what's inside. So this one is going to be my ender pearls. This one's going to be my netherite. This one's going to be the cartography and the compass and the paper. Don't ask me why it's orange. It's just orange is a cool color. And then this is going to be my backup armor. This is going to be my backup weapons. This is going to be all my emeralds and emerald ore, emerald blocks. And then this is going to be my totems of undying. And you can see we have been on this server a very, very long time. We have amassed a lot of stuff. So don't be surprised if you're looking at it going, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff. Yes, it is a lot of stuff because we've been here for quite a while. So moving on, let's go up to the second floor. So up at the top of the second floor, off to the left here, this is an office, another fireplace, big shock. And there's my buddy, my bird, and his name is, let's see if we can get his name. His name is eBuzz. 2 points to anybody in the comments section who can tell me where that name comes from, eBuzz. It was a name, I will give you a hint. It was a name, it's in a movie, and it's the name of a pet, a family pet. And you probably Google it and go, oh, okay, here's where it at, but here's where it's from. But eBuzz, you guys got to come back at the comment section and let me know where that name comes from. Okay, but here's my computer. So here's my chair, my office chair. Here's my keyboard. Oh my gosh, I broke my keyboard. Hold on, let me reset my keyboard. Okay. So here's my keyboard, and there's my mouse, and there's my console. There's my I thought I had a painting on here simulating simulating a video screen, but that's actually supposed to be my computer monitor. And then there's my trophy head, and there's my pet eBuzz. I highly recommend you get a parrot if you ever have a Minecraft world, and just have your parrot handy, because your parrot will actually mimic the sounds of mobs that are nearby. And so you actually hear the parrot make some kind of weird chimes, and your parrot is actually telling you when there are dangerous mobs nearby. So you actually listen to your parrot, and they'll let you know when dangerous mobs are nearby. So now this is where we, no, this isn't where we started. We started in the kitchen down below, but we ran up here to sleep. But this is the bedroom area. And I also have my jukebox here. I have all my discs here. And you notice I have a lot of music discs. Now, I don't have any music discs from 1.18. We haven't played on this world in quite a while, and we certainly haven't played on it since 1.18 launched. But I do have a lot of music discs, and I'll show you how I ended up with all those music discs. But I do have quite a collection. And then this is kind of like a little, you know, my flat screen TV. And then my speakers, and then my bed, obviously, and my kitties. Hey, babies. So my kitty cats. I'm moving on, and we're gonna go up. Oh, I forgot to show my dog, and I don't even know what my dog's name is. Did I name him? I didn't even name him. I named the parrot, not the dogs. Did I name the cats? I don't think I did. Nope. Nope. Okay, didn't name the cats, but I named the parrot. That's okay. So going up here, we're going to head into the attic, kind of just some armor for decorations here. And then we head into the attic, and of course, another fireplace. But I don't light it just because I want to save money. You know, fuel is expensive nowadays. So here's a spare bed for guests. And what you'll see here is I made some dormers. So these actually came later. I actually built the house on the roof first, and then I put these dormers in later. But I just love the dormers because the dormers actually break up the monotony of a flat house, you know what I mean, where the wall just goes straight up and then there's the roof. And it actually kind of breaks up that monotony of that, so it adds a lot of like depth to your house. And I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. Out there, we'll take a look at it later, but you see my little enchanting tree with my nether portal, and this is actually my creeper farm. And over there, off to this, in the distance, you see my church. That's my trading hall. And then you see a lot of big spruce trees, if you see a lot of those giant spruce trees. So many of those are custom built. So I grew quite a few of them because I love them. I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. But for whatever reason, only a few of them grew, and then the rest never grew. So I ended up creating quite a few of these. They're actually custom built, but we'll take a look at that later. And then off to the side here, here's another dormer. And then down here you can see my map. This is everything that I've explored so far. I believe that we are in the center here. So right here is my house right here. So this is where we are. That's where my base is. And then off to here, we kind of marked some areas. I think that was where we found a geode, I want to say, but you see that we had to kind of when the 1.17 update came out with the Caves and Cliffs update part 1, we had to go outside of where we had previously explored to find those updates. Mushroom Island, and my friend has a base right here, and we're going to go see his base. It's going to be part of the tour. We have a couple of bases that we're going to see of folks who join the realm. And but you can see these are, I believe these are 4x4 maps, and you can definitely see how much of the world we explored and how much of the world we didn't explore. So and down here, I had to go all the way down here. You can see my trail. So here's our base right here, and you can kind of see me following this trail down here just to get to this mesa biome. It was the closest one, but that's probably that's all I needed that area for, was just that mesa biome for terracotta. And then you'll see up here, I started to make a map, an overview map of my little farm. So this is the house. This is where we are now with our cute little dormers, and then a barn. We have an automated food farms, and I'll show you that. Guys. Over here is actually a turtle sanctuary. It used to be my old trading hall, but I subsequently moved all of my villagers over to the church, and then I converted the old trading hall into a turtle sanctuary. And then you'll see over here, I kind of made it into an olive grove. I don't know. I ended up getting kind of inspired by like wineries in France and southern France, and found that they also some of them also have olive groves, and they make olive oil, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I kind of made myself a little olive oil or olive grove. And then I've got a couple of farms. I've got my smelting barn and a couple of other automated farms. But one thing I started to do is I started to make a castle. It turned out horribly. I do regret, like I do have one regret in the castle, in that I leveled a mountain to build it, and then it ended up being flat on the ground, just like at base level. And I thought, oh, that was not the best idea. I think I would have rather have chosen not to have leveled that mountain and built the castle at the top of the mountain, which if when I have to do it over again, I'll probably make that change. So over here, you see I have all my enchanted books. A lot of these came from, many of them came from our, we have a raid farm that I built, and I'll show you the raid farm. It'll be part of our tour, but a lot of these came from the raid farm. And then a lot of these that are the individual ones, these come from trading with our villagers in our villager hall. I also traded, so my friend and we'll visit his base. He and I kind of traded off, where if I had one, then he would have the other. So he would have a thorns guy, I could have a silk touch guy. So we kind of traded back and forth between who had which villagers. It actually worked out really well, so we wouldn't constantly double up on the same type of villagers. And then over here is just some shulker boxes with some of the more popular upgrades, and some punch 2, protection, thorns, feather falling, sharpness. So this is where I kept all my enchanted books. And obviously another anvil, because you can't have too many. And then here's my enchanting setup, and then here's my tool chest. So this is where I can put my netherite on my gear. And then up here I have a spare helmet, and then of course here's spare anvils, and then lapis for enchanting. And I think it's dark out, so we'll go ahead and sleep. I'm going to sleep because I don't really want phantoms to spawn while we're touring. So with that said, I think I should probably take a traveling bed with me. I'll probably just go ahead and grab as I run out, because I've been on this world so long, I just like, it's habit. So running downstairs, going back downstairs, here's the second floor again, going back down to the first floor, and then turning the corner and coming right here. Here's the entrance to the basement. So going down to the basement, you see it's all wood paneling. Anyway, a la 1970s, that's okay. And then in the basement, it's not very fancy. It's very, very, very plain. But in the basement, here's where we have our potions set up. We've got our netherwort farm. And then over here, we have our, just all our various potions. So I pretty much have a double chest dedicated to splash potion of fire resistance, because this is what you get when you trade with the piglins. And I got so many of them, and I'll show you why here in a bit, but I got so many of these that I had to make their own chest. And then here, again, a fire potion of resistance. Again, I got so many of these that I had to make their own chests, and I always carry one on me, and I highly recommend, guys, if you're going into the nether, please carry a potion of fire resistance, whether it's a splash potion or a drinking potion, whether it's 3 minutes or 8 minutes. Always try to get yourself fire resistance and just have it on you at all times. You will thank yourself. And then here's just the other various potions that I have: invisibility, speed, strength, weakness, poison, feather falling, slow falling, sorry, water breathing, night vision, and just all various, just various aspects of potions. And you say, okay, why? Well, I like to make tipped arrows. And so especially with instant damage, so if I can take instant health and I can add that sugary spider eye to it, I can't remember what it's called, it's going to turn it into instant damage. And so I will, I love the tipped arrow. So I tend to make a lot of potions just for various things. Obviously the feather slow falling is really good for the end. Water breathing and night vision's really good for underwater if you're raiding a guardian farm or guardian temple. And then of course the weakness potions for curing zombie villagers. So over here I've got a double my double set of brewing stands, and then I had just various ingredients and fermented spider eyes, what it is, and various ingredients for brewing. Again, guys, we've been on the server for a very long time. I have dragon's breath, mushrooms, I got gunpowder, heart of the sea, and you can see I have 3 conduits. We've just, and lots of brewing stands, because I don't know, I think I've stolen them from the ships that I've raided in the end. So I always take the brewing stand with me. Up here we've got some more supplies. We've got our blaze rods, blaze powder, pufferfish, and our magma cream, and then of course our nether wart. And then up here just our water bottles. And so I have empty bottles, I have water bottles, and I made myself an infinite water source here, so I can just come over here and fill up my water bottles and use them in my potions brewing. Down here you see this is our entrance to our mine, and this is our bubble vader up. And so basically you just fall, it's falling into water, boop. And you can see I've bored tunneled, what do they call it, strip mining. I've strip mined the crap out of this thing. And just all the way around. I never did get to that side, and I bet you 10 to 1 there'd be like a lot of resources this way. I just never got to mining out that way. And so basically I'm not going to bore you down that way. I believe I have a skeleton spawner, which was it was a dual spider spawner skeleton spawner. We won't go down there because you guys probably seen stuff like that, but I made it into obviously an experience, a farm, and I got lots and lots of bones, lots of arrows, lots of bows, and then of course lots of string from the spiders, which I then converted into wool. And down this way, I can't remember if there was anything special down in this direction or not. I'd have to think about it, but not very exciting. I mean, just really just my strip mining. So back up the bubble vader. And we're back in the basement. And then from here, we can go out. Let's go out the front door. And oh, I forgot to show you. This is my little 4-season room. So cozy little fireplace, and this is my 4-season room. And if you live up north, you know what a 4-season room is. It's just a cozy little room off the side of your house, or maybe off the back of your house. And it usually has a stove. It can have a fireplace. I would think most of them have stoves. And then here's where you can just kind of sit and enjoy. You watch TV. You can just enjoy a koozie fire, although ours is too small to watch TV. But we can enjoy a koozie fire, and then we can kind of watch the seasons change outside the windows. 4-season. These are just decorative, by the way. My friend always comes over and tries to close these, but I tell him it's just decorative paneling. So going out the front, and this is our patio, and I'm going to show you off to the left or off to the right here. We have our barn, and we have mushroom cows. And they used to be regular cows, but then we ended up kind of kidnapping some mushroom cows. So since mushroom cows give you beef and leather, just like regular cows, I just changed all my regular cows to mushroom cows, so I can also get the suspicious stew, and I can, you know. And then I've got my chicken farms here and my sheep. They're all dyed black because I used a lot of black carpeting, and I'll show you where in another tunnel. And used a lot of black carpeting, so I dyed all my sheep black so I could just get the black wool and turn it into black carpeting. And then up here, I know it's not very fancy or exciting, but what I got up here is I have the loom area. So I have my loom, and then I have all my banners. Here's some more black carpeting, some extra black carpeting. I stored all my wood up here, or my wool up here, and then just things that I used for dye. And I have all my ink sacks and my glow ink sacks. So, and that's up here. So, all right. So moving on, what you'll see here is you'll see my pond, and I have some tropical fish in here, and they kind of just like to spin around. But some drip leaf, and then some lily pads for parkouring, but it's just supposed to be a decorative pond. That's all it is. My azalea trees. Over here, I have my automated food farms. So this bottom farm is going to be automated carrots. And so the farmer, he tends to the crops, and then he'll throw the crops to this guy thinking he's hungry, but they end up in the hoppers that I've set up, and then they funnel over here into this chest. And it's actually double stacked. It's a dual purpose automated farm. And up at the top, you see there's another set. There's another farmer and then another recipient. And only this time in the upper one, it's beetroot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually beetroot. It's not carrot. And I don't need beetroot. I don't trade with beetroot. As a matter of fact, my farmers in my trading village are all carrot farmers because I grow plenty of carrots. So the beetroots actually get funneled into a composter, and then they get turned into bone meal. So it's actually an automated bone meal farm, that second one. And this farm is designed by Silent Whisperer. So I'm not going to take credit for it. And I don't know if I want to put a link to this farm in the description, because this farm was specifically for 1.17 Bedrock Edition. That's what this is. It's Bedrock Edition. And I don't know if it's still applicable to 1.18. So if you guys want an automated farm for 1.18, go ahead and look up tutorials for that. However, I can put a link to Silent Whisper's YouTube channel in my description. There's two, I typically follow 4 YouTubers primarily. The first one is Pixel Riffs, and then the second one is Waddles. And those two are Java users. I don't play Java, I play Bedrock. So Pixel Riffs and Waddles are very good for me for entertainment value, and they're also awesome builders, so you can get a lot of good build ideas from those two. But my 2 favorite tutorials to watch for Bedrock specifically are Silent Whisperer and Jay-Z Plays. And I'll put descriptions of those two. I'll put links to those 2 channels in the description. But Jay-Z Plays, you'll see a common theme is I do take a lot of tutorials from Jay-Z Plays. And so whenever I come across a automated farm or something that's automated, and I took that idea from Jay-Z Plays, I'll go ahead and give him credit for it. Now, I'm not saying that he originated it. I'm not saying Silent originated this design. But what I am saying is that if they took this design from somebody else, then you can find out more from them. All I know is that I watched their videos and I took the design from their videos, whether or not it was their original idea or not. But they can give credit to whomever inspired them. Over here you see I put in a beacon, and you can see that it's made of all emeralds, because between trading with my farmers over there and we had a raid farm. I don't know. I mean, I would assume it still works in 1.17. I hear that raid farms are going to be nerfed in 1.18, but for the moment, my raid farm worked really, really well, and ended up getting a lot of emeralds from the raid farm. There's that ugly castle I was telling you about. Again, had I done it over and thought about it, I don't think I would have carved out the mountain and then put the castle down. I think I should have designed the castle on top of the mountain and incorporated the mountain with the castle. I think that would have been cooler, but that's just, live and learn. And I, had I had the time, I would have done more with the castle. I would have decorated the outside a little more, added some more depth. But since we're going to retire this realm, there's really no need to do that anymore. So I'll probably just abandon that project. And so over here, in the side of the hill, I did carve out, it was kind of like my homage to The Hobbit. And I did carve out my storage system. So I try to make it look hobbity hole-ish. And you push the button and it's got an automated door. And then here you'll see my storage system where I try to label everything as best I could. The end here just has a spot where I was going to put just, other equipment. So, tools and weapons and add extra armor. But you can see here, I've got my blocks sorted. These guys above, the barrels above, were supposed to be for like odds. Like this would be like, for the block itself proper, and maybe for some other things. And then the barrel up above could be used for the odd, like stairs. If you have, stairs and doors, things like that, and buttons, things that you wouldn't want to take up room in a full double chest. So wood over here, and then moving into armor, the end, that's the end. And then, this is obviously quartz. There's my, what would you call these? The guardian, not a guardian farm, but those temples, the guardian temples, terracotta, snow, glass, rockets, books, paper, and then weapons, armors. And then over here, here's my nether basalt. Here's my nether blocks, and then stone, lots and lots and lots of stone, sand, gravel, dirt. So that's that. Now back here was an area I was going to use for additional storage in case I needed to go that way or that way. It was going to allow me to expand. And then this is where I put the cauldrons, and this is where you could actually take dripstone and you could actually fill the cauldrons with the various potions. And you can see I had them marked, but I think that was nerfed. Somebody told me that was nerfed, and indeed I believe them, because I had this system here for months and months and months, and it never went past half full. So I believe that this aspect or this characteristic of 1.17 got nerfed. I don't know if that's true or not. You can let me know in the comment section, but it did seem that way, because for a long time my cauldrons they filled up at first, and then all of a sudden they stopped filling up. So this is a turtle sanctuary, and I do have quite a few turtles in here, and I would breed them, and as the babies would grow, they would leave their shells, and I would take their shells and I would collect them. But I didn't really need them, because I didn't really need Potion of the Turtle Master. I had already had night vision and underwater breathing, but I just thought it was cool. I'd never done it before, so I tried it. Here are my automatic melon farm and my automatic pumpkin farm, and I can't remember who inspired me on this one. I didn't look it up. It's either going to be JC Plays or it's going to be Waddles. Not Waddles, Silent Whisper, and I can't remember who it is. So you guys can look that up on YouTube. But you come down here and you see I've got these I converted. So this farm gives you melon slices, but I have a crafting table over to the side, and I convert the melon slices. But every so often I collect them all, and then I convert them to full melons. But the one thing is my minecarts would always disappear. They haven't in a while, but for a long time, every day when I would log on to the realm, I'd have to check to make sure my minecarts were still here. My automated farmers would disappear from time to time, the actual villagers, and my minecarts tend to disappear. So every day when I would log on, the first thing I would do was come out here, check to make sure I had my villagers, and then check to make sure my my rail carts, my hopper rail carts were still working. Oh, oops, I went too far. Boop, there we go. So this is my automated pumpkin farm, and you can see it creates lots of pumpkins. And why did I automate melons and pumpkins? Because they give you wicked trades. So when you have a really good farmer, you only need 6 pumpkins for an emerald, and you only need 4 full melons. Sometimes you get lucky and you can actually get a farmer who trades you for the slices, which is really, really good. But otherwise, you can get a farmer that can trade you for the whole melon, and it's only 4 melons for an emerald, six pumpkins for an emerald. So these two are very good, like emerald sources as well. That's probably why I have that beacon made out of emeralds. It's because these guys. I highly recommend when you make your world, make yourself an automated melon farm, make yourself an automatic pumpkin farm, because you just rake in the emeralds. And then what you see here is after the Caves and Cliffs updates, when we came out with that moss, I went ahead and I converted. I just took a lot of because this whole area was torch spammed, and I ended up taking a lot of that, and I buried the torches, and I just covered them with moss carpeting just to kind of hide them. And I think it looks great, and I made a lot of lanterns, but the lanterns come from trading with not the cartographers, but the librarians, and that's my major source of lanterns, and I love lanterns. So over here I've got my little itty bitty bee farm, and then over here I've got my automated sugarcane farm. So basically what I do is I put bone meal in here, and I can take the bone meal from the bone meal farm. I flip the switch, and it starts feeding bone meal to the sugarcane, and then the sugarcane, and then the piston. The observer will observe the sugarcane growing. The piston will then fire, and this is actually an automated sugarcane farm. And what we can do is I can grab some bone meal real quick, and I can show you how this works. And that was definitely JC Plays. So grab some bone meal. And put the bone meal in the dispenser, and then flip the lever, and then you can see I had to slow it down. So you can actually adjust the tick speed by adjusting. This is the it's not the comparator, but the repeater. You can actually adjust your tick speed, and I actually slowed it down because when it went too fast, I think that I wasn't collecting a lot of the sugarcane. It was kind of getting lost, and maybe it was and maybe it wasn't, but I actually slowed it down just so I could get a little more repeatable performance out of it. So that's that. And then over here is our smelting pavilion, and you see I've got blast furnace, and I've got regular furnace, and then I got smokers. We did have automated fuel source, but that got broken, I think, in the 1.17 update. And this definitely is a JC Plays contraption where the shifting of the sand blocks would cause the it was supposed to cause the sugarcane or the bamboo up here to constantly grow, and then the pistons would break the sugarcane, and the sugarcane would fall into here. And you can see I subsequently replaced it with coal because the 1.17 update, I think, broke the automated bamboo farm. So this cart kind of just goes along, and it collects the coal from that chest there, and it distributes evenly. And then I come along, and I kind of just manually add in here whatever I want to smelt. And you can tell, though, I've actually at one point I just kind of substituted everything for the lava bucket, so it's not even dropping into the coal anymore. I mean, you can see it's gone through several evolutions. So from having automated bamboo to having coal to then transitioning to the lava buckets. So some of them do have coal, and some of them have the lava buckets. So I can add in whatever I want to smelt, and then once it smelts, it goes into these chests, and I can just collect it later. So it's something I don't have to worry about. Okay, and then here's my olive grove. So you guys saw that in the map up there, but I thought it was pretty fun to make it. It doesn't really serve any purpose other than just aesthetics. So, and that's it for the house and the surrounding. Oh, it's not, we have to see the back side, but I kind of want to show you the house actually before we go. This is my fountain that I made, but I kind of want to show you. So this is the side of the house. Let's see if I can get higher. So over here, that's the 4-season room that I was telling you about. It has its own fireplace, and then this is the side of the house. That's the front entrance, and then I can we'll walk around the house. I want to show you the dormers and what a difference the dormers made. This is the back side of the house, and we'll take a look at this more later. I just kind of wanted to show you how the dormers look. So this is the back side of the house, and you see how flat the back side of the house was, but then I added the dormers up here, and I think it really adds a lot. It breaks up like the dimension of the house and adds some depth to it. So I really thought those dormers were really cool for adding that touch. And with that said, guys, that's going to be it for this episode as we watch the sunset. And that's going to be it for our first episode. And please continue with me, and I will show you the rest of my world as we go along. And I hope you can join me in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.